It's critical mass, right? The way I see it is that ultimately, probably less than 10 coins will achieve critical mass this cycle. Uh, Critical mass is otherwise known as a tipping point, a threshold mass. It's a point in the development of a system, any kind of system, where it starts to produce its own growth. Again, this is arguably the most important concept to understand when it comes to memes. Simply put, the coins that reach critical mass are significantly more likely to do another 10 to 50x and to become giant multi-cycle projects. If you're intending to hold a meme coin for longer than a month, you're effectively betting on it reaching critical mass. Are borrowing fiat to buy BTC, right? And this trend is increasing. The strategy the MicroStrategy has pioneered, a lot of other companies, as we've seen lately, are mimicking that strategy. And I believe that that's only going to continue, right? More and more people around the world, and as many of you, as my followers know, I've been talking about this since 2017. And I think almost all of my predictions have come and continue to be coming true as far as Bitcoin goes, right? More and more people around the world are simply realizing that Bitcoin is a superior form of money. They're also realizing it not only at the individual level, but also at the corporate, at the board level, and more corporations around the world, I believe, are going to be start putting on BTC positions. You know, it's perhaps even more importantly, this is also happening at the state level, at the government level, at the sovereign fund level, right? At the sort of the highest state levels. And, you know, famously, there's talks of a US strategic Bitcoin reserve. Dozens of people in the current American administration are notoriously pro-crypto and crypto-friendly. You know, we've seen already what El Salvador and Bhutan have done, and I think other countries are going to follow them. You know, other than the federal level, individual states, dozens of individual states in the United States, in Brazil, in other places, have already sort of put forward bills in their governmental bodies in order to begin Bitcoin purchasing programs. You know, stablecoin adoption is continuing to grow rapidly, and I think this is very important because this means that whatever large or new crypto trends will appear in the coming months, we are going to be in a world compared to 4 years ago where you have a lot more stablecoins in the system and you have a lot more crypto wallets around the world in general, especially in the second and the third world. Effectively, the crypto world is more and more entrenched with regular people on all continents. You know, if we just look at this cycle so far, what are the themes and categories that have outperformed earlier? If you look at just 2024, the top performers, 6 of them have been meme coins. SPX 6900, Popcat, Mog, Turbo, Pepe, and Whiff. These 6 have been among the top 10 performers of 2024. And it's very important, you know, if you study the past 3 or 4 cycles, the themes and the categories that outperform earlier in the cycle, specifically the year 3 of the cycle, they are the same themes that just end up going even more ballistic in the 4th year of the cycle. And, you know, just stepping back a little bit, in my opinion, people want coins that will outperform BTC, but also have the potential to be multi-cycle holds. Gold and the S&P 500 were the go-to assets for the previous generations. And my belief is that Bitcoin, which has already established itself, and other large memetic assets are going to be more frequently seen as parts of the portfolio of younger millennials, Gen Z, and Generation Alpha that have grown up as digital natives. To kind of come to the perspective of financial markets and the world at large from the perspective of younger millennials and especially Zoomers, right? Again, Zoomers own almost nothing. Almost none of the wealth and almost none of the income streams. They have no money, they have no political power, they have no clout, right? But you have to ask yourself, what is the one thing that Zoomers are good at? And in my opinion, that is social media. It is a social, cultural, and financial vessel representing a memetic counter-reaction of the younger generations. Essentially, it represents the younger generations creating their own assets in an emergent, decentralized way.